What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Fluorescent Fungus channel. We're playing some Standard today. We're playing Blue-White Control in Standard, one of the decks that's near and dear to my heart just in general. I'm a big Blue-White fan. You just saw some Jeskai Energy, which is effectively a Blue-White Control deck. This is a standard Blue-White Control deck. It's kind of boring, but it's if you like playing Control, it's very fun. We'll go through the list here card by card, just in case someone who doesn't play a ton of Standard or hasn't seen this deck, or maybe wants to pick up Blue-White, can understand what's going on. And our 1-drops, we got a couple lies. None of these cards cost 1 mana. We get 3 steps ahead, which usually costs 3, because it has the spree mechanic. So you can pay blue 1 to cancel, counter target spell, blue and 3 to create a token that's a copy of target artifact or creature you control, or blue and 2 to draw 2 cards, then discard a card, and any permeation of a combination of all of these. So you can pay 6 mana to clone a thing, and no, it wouldn't be 6, it would be 5 mana to counter and draw 2. It would be 5, 6, 7, 8 mana to do all 3, or you could pay 6 mana to clone and counter. But this is kind of like a cryptic command in Standard, which is awesome. March of Otherworldly Light, it can cost 1. Normally it doesn't unless you're getting a 0-drop, because you don't love pitching cards to March if you don't have to, but it exiles stuff. We've got Get Lost as a removal spell. Deduce is a good card advantage engine. No More Lies is the best counter spell in the Standard format by a lot. Temporary Lockdown kills little guys. Tishana's Tidebinder deals with mostly cards out of the ramp deck. Depopulate, Sunfall, and Farewell are board wipes. The Wandering Emperor is a win condition, a removal spell, and a life gain engine. And Memory Deluge is your best card draw engine. Our mana base can also kill our opponent. We've got 4 copies of Restless Anchorage and a Mirrex, as well as 4 Field of Runes, because some decks like Esper, Field of Rune acts a lot like a strip mine after you draw your second one. They have like 1 or 2 basics and you start to field them, and they start not getting basics off of the field, and you've entered strip mine mode. And then after that, our sideboard is full of cool cards, 2 more Tidebinders, 2 Temporary Lockdowns, 2 Negate, 2 Rest in Peace, Hullbreaker Horror, 2 Kutzil's Flanker, 1 Negate, Get Lost, and my favorite sideboard card, which is Dust Animus. You plot it early, and then you have like a giant flying spirit angel later in the game, which is very cool. That's everything you need to know. Let's hop into the ladder to play a couple best of 3 games. All right, found opponent number 1, Nerdy Barbecue number 1761, and we are 723 after the Timeless Energy playthrough. This hand's great. It's 4 lands and 3 spells, which this deck almost always keeps. We just played Timeless, so this is going to feel really slow compared to that format, but Standard is actually really awesome right now. If you don't play Standard and you're looking for a reason to, the reason is because there's like 15 really good decks. All right, Restless Anchorage, taps, pass. Then we get to go Adarkar Wastes and then Deserted Beach and hold up our spells. We even might go Adarkar Wastes into Restless Anchorage if we don't draw a 3-drop. So we'll go Wastes and pass, planning to Deduce on our opponent's end step unless they play something that we absolutely need to get lost. Inspiring Vantage, sure. Resolute Reinforcement, sure. Is this going to be like a Mardu variant of Convoke? Kind of seems like it. Deduce. Get 1 clue, please. Another Get Lost isn't great into a matchup like this where there's a bunch of little guys, but that's fine. We aren't going to need a 3rd land just yet, so we'll play Restless Anchorage because it kind of gives us our 4th land on tap, Deserted Beach, and then we can Wandering Emperor, which can come up, along with Memory Deluge. Cannonball, Profiteering Mare. When 1 or more tokens enter the battlefield under your opponent's control, for each of them, create a tap token that's a copy of it. It triggers only once per turn. Whenever 1 or more tokens enter the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses a life and you gain a life. Sure. That's fine. Go to combat, attack me for 2. I have to imagine. Yes, I'll take 2. I'm going to kill Kemble. Make you a couple maps, hopefully just draw Temporary Lockdown. We don't, but that's fine. Are we going to use Field? I actually want to start testing them with this Field of Runes, so we'll just play it and pass. And if they don't do anything that we absolutely have to interact with, we will Field of Rune their Inspiring Vantage, especially since they just got a mountain, and see how many basics they play. Deep Cavern Bat's fine. We don't care about this because every single one of our cards kills a Deep Cavern Bat, so that Deep Cavern Bat's just going to keep one of these cards warm for us for when we eventually need to use it. Looks like they're going to start mapping, which is fine. We really don't care too much about that either. Chemball's on top, sure. Want to map the 1/1 as well? Makes sense. All right, let's see how many basics they have. We're going to start by shooting their white source. I assume they're playing at least 1 plains. Shoot that. I'm going to go grab a plains myself. And they grab their plains. We're actually going to take 4 here. I'm not in a hurry to kill these, to like 2 for 1 myself by killing 1/2 of a Resolute Reinforcements. Novice Inspector is fine. You get a clue. And then I will crack my clue. We really love a Temporary Lockdown here. Field of Rune's quite good. We're going to, or we already had it, but like we're going to play it. And then we're going to pop the Blackcleave Cliffs to see if they have a basic swamp as well. Lord Skitter. Put a stop here. That resolves. Then we're going to get lost the Lord Skitter. Maybe it makes more sense to march it. No, I don't care if they start mapping. We'll get lost the Lord Skitter. We don't want them to start making more tokens. And then they can map something if they want. All right, you've mapped it. Get lost on top, sure. They're probably anticipating us having like a Wandering Emperor, which we don't currently have actually. So what we will do is we're gonna Field of Ruin, Black Cleave Cliffs here. We'll see if they have a basic swamp as well. And we'll grab a Plains, and they do. And then we will actually, for 0 mana, March of Otherworldly Light, the 2/2, just to stem the bleeding a little bit. Because if we don't draw temporary lockdown here, we're actually looking at taking more damage than we want to this game. But we do have this second March to hit the Deep Cavern Bat to get our March back, which is pretty good. All right, they draw land, sure, draw field. Okay, first we're gonna keep prying at their mana base to try to get an idea of how many basics they have. We'll grab an island here. Are you out yet, or do you play just so many basics? They play so many basics. Okay, so now we know for next game that prying away at their mana base of Field of Ruins isn't gonna be that good. Line Breaker, when it dies, create a who cares? That resolves. Crack the clue, draw a card, sure. They go to attackers, they attack for 5. I actually think what I'd like to do here is pay 2 mana and exile Deep Cavern Bat. That'll give me that March back. And I will go to 5 instead of 4. Which is more life. More life is good. Another Line Breaker, sure. Alright, there's Lockdown. Boop. Lock down your board. Get out of here. And then we will play Deserted Beach and pass. They could just get lost, the temporary lockdown, so that is, like it says, it is a temporary solution to our problem. We're also going to march this Deep Cavern Bat with its trigger on the stack, just so they don't have bodies in play. You see land. Do you have Get Lost? You do. So they're going to get their bodies back, but I will get 2 maps. And importantly, I have blockers in play. They're the Restless Anchorages. They take a draw, I take a draw. It's a land, that's not great. But, let's see, 1, 2, 3. I can activate both, so we've got good blocks. As long as they don't have some type of an Anthem or something with haste. Or like an Imodane's Recruiter. That would kill us as well. Alright, here comes this Restless Anchorage. Alright, they kill one of them, so I'm going to tap it for blue. Resolves. We may die here. Another Restless Anchorage. And block here, because it's the highest CMC among the creatures you have. Alright, I would like 1 Sunfall, please. Crack clue, sure. Do you have... Nope, it doesn't matter because I do not have the removal. Okay, concede. Alright, game 2 against this deck, we really just want every temporary lockdown on our deck. In addition to Dust Animus seems like a really good way to like slow down the beatdown. And then I don't think we want Tidebinder, I don't think we want Negate. Kutzil's Flanker could be good. Let's move over here and see what we have to lose. I think 3 steps ahead is actually like kind of medium. I really don't want to cut too many, I'll cut 1. And then we're going to cut down on, I think Tishana's Tidebinder might actually be not great in this matchup as well. So we'll cut 2 of those, as well as 1 Memory Deluge maybe? Yeah, I like cutting a Memory Deluge. And the reason we're cutting Deluge is because like if we're going to be spending 4 mana on the 4th turn of our game, we probably want to not be dying to their huge board. So Deluge we want to draw at some point, but we don't really want to draw it until we've stabilized, if that makes sense. Then I think Get Lost kind of sucks, but like our targeted removal, I guess we just have to take it where we can get it. Another card we might want is Kutzil's Flanker. That is not the worst, but I think on the play, I'm fine with the deck like this. So we'll try it like that. Me be on the play. All right, I'll be on the play first. This hand has a board wipe, a March, and a Wandering Emperor. That's great. We're going to play Sunken Citadel on white. And for those of you who don't know what Sunken Citadel does, it's an ancient tomb for land abilities. So Otawara, Eiganjo, Manlands, Mirrex, things like that. Novice Inspector is good. Double Sunfall should be amazing this game. Let's play in Adarkar Wastes, and I kind of want to march that clue, but I think that might be blowing the March of Otherworldly Light too soon. You've got another Novice Inspector, sure. All right, pass. Take 1. Pass to end step. My turn. Deserted Beach, go. We're just going to do what our deck does best and do absolutely nothing for the first 5 turns of the game. Lands, Anim Pakal. That's going to go wide really quick, so what I'm going to do is actually remove it. I think I am fine with 1 less Sunfall. Maybe I should get rid of the Wandering Emperor, actually. Yeah, let's go. It's a 3-drop, right? 1, 2, 3. Pitch the Wandering Emperor, get rid of that. That card's going to be generically problematic for us. And then we'll just take 2. For those of you who don't know, this card's going to cause them to go wide very quickly. So I'm just not ready for that quite yet. And the Wandering Emperor, there's 4 in our deck. We'll eventually draw another one. But we want to use these Sunfalls to stabilize. All right, there's another one, but we're ready for this one. We're just going to follow up with Sunfall. All right. You get attacker. Me take 3. I'll cast Deduce. I'll also crack the food, or the clue rather. And then I will draw, and there's the other Wandering Emperor that we ordered. Let's put the Mirrex, and let's just wipe this board now. Get a little incubator. Deep Cavern Bet, sure. I wonder what they're going to take. It's probably supposed to just be Sunfall, depending on what their game plan is. But this Dust Animus is going to be really good. All right, crack a clue, draw a card, sure. All right, 3 steps ahead's a great draw. We're going to plot this Dust Animus to make a giant lifelinking blocker / attacker. And that's going to be pretty tough for this deck to beat, I think. Tapped land, you can't attack with that Deep Cavern Bat because you know about the Wandering Emperor, right? All right, combat, no attacks. You're attacking. Unhinged. That tells me there's a reason they're attacking. I wonder what it is. Let's just take the 1. Now it feels like bait. All right, I'm going to flip this 4/4. Ooh, temporary lockdown. Interesting. Let's go to combat and attack for 4. Beat. All right, you're up, opponent. A little thing I'll mention right now, because some of you might be newer to the format or the deck and think like, oh, look at that. He can make a copy of his incubator token with 3 steps ahead. Don't do that. It'll make a copy of the token, but it won't be a creature, and it will come in with 0+1/+1 counters. So flipping it will kill it, which is, as you can imagine, quite bad. I think I want to 3 steps ahead this Deep Cavern Bat, and I want to loot. No thank you. We will pitch, honestly, Memory Deluge. I'm fine making my 7th land drop. Kill my 4/4? Sure. Ouch. All right, there's another Dust Animus, which is pretty sweet. We're actually going to plot it. I'm going to wait until their board's completely clear and I don't have anything else to worry about before I deploy the Dust Animus. Because Dust Animus also gets exiled by my own temporary lockdowns, farewells, sunfalls, things like that. And I'll probably only deploy 1 at a time. Okay, so they're not doing anything, which is great. I was supposed to make a Mirrex token there, but it's not a big deal. Now I have Memory Deluge in the bin, thanks to my 3 steps ahead. So I can just flash that back whenever I feel like, and that's going to be really good. Resolute Reinforcements is fine. You have bodies. Now maybe you're supposed to attack, so I can't Memory Deluge, but they didn't, so I'm going to Memory Deluge. All right, we don't need a land just yet. No More Lies is kind of expired. I think we'll take 3 steps ahead plus more card draw from Deduce. Now something I can do here is jam Dust Animus to encourage our opponent to start to overextend. So we're going to do just that. When it comes into play, if I control 5 or more untapped lands, which I do, it has 2+1/+1 counters and a flying counter, or a lifelink counter. It already has flying. But that, as you can imagine, is pretty good. And then I think I'm actually going to pass through my phases to see if they do have Go for the Throat, so we'll let that resolve. And then what I was going to do in my second main phase is crack those maps on it. But since they're just killing it, I'm just going to pass. I'm surprised they still have Go for the Throat in their deck. Because there's like no creatures on my main board hold for the Tishana's Tidebinders. They go to combat. They attack for 2. Sure, here's a Wandering Emperor. I will start to clog the board up as well, forcing you to overextend. At some point, you're not going to have a choice but to overextend. My deck's really good at dealing with a couple creatures at a time. That's the reason Blue-White's so good. It's because it's really good at dealing with creatures. Well, it's pretty good at dealing with creatures on a 1-for-1 basis. So you can't just like play 1 creature and hope to win the game off of it. But it's very good at dealing with like 15 creatures. We're going to Deduce. Do you like the Wandering Emperor of your own or something? No? Cool. Good talk. I'm going to crack this clue. Anything with flash? No? Cool. Good talk. Migo. Deserted Sunken Citadel is probably better, actually. We'll play Sunken Citadel. We'll put it on blue this time. We'll tick up the Wandering Emperor on the 2/2, which will block the Resolute Reinforcements. And if they ever attack with the Deep Cavern Bat, I can minus it and get my Sunfall back, which will be just very bad for them. Attack for 3. Damage. And then I'm going to do what I should have done pre-combat, because I regularly forget about maps when I'm playing this deck. Unless I'm using Restless Anchorage, which makes the maps. I'm going to map my guy twice. Just to set up my draws and get lands out of my deck. Memory Deluge, right to the bin, please. Love that. Go. Novice Inspector, sure. Keep extending. Luckily for them, the clue replaces the Novice Inspector, so they're not really punished for playing it out. Crack clue, sure. They go combat. They not attack. I love that. Here's a Deluge. All right, we'll take another 3 steps ahead, as well as... Do we just grab Farewell here? I think so. Yeah, we'll just grab Farewell. I'm just going to go ahead and wipe the board now. It seems to be about that time. Let's go to combat. Attack for 4. Normally, I would never farewell this board state, but Deep Cavern Bat is hiding my Sunfall from me, which I don't love. All right, cool. They read it. They blocked like they were probably supposed to. And then we're going to exile everything except for graveyards, right? Right. because I want my I want access to my, well, I guess it doesn't matter because I don't have any Memory Deluge, but I'm just going to leave graveyards intact anyway. All right, your board's gone. I draw Sunfall. I minus this Wandering Emperor. I have 7 in hand and pass. Yeah, opponent, you should probably concede so we can go to the next game. I'm like certain you can't win here. I think you should be too. All right, let's make a Mirrex token. Migo. All right, well, I've got such a mana advantage, I should start using it, right? Activate Restless Anchorage, and then tick up the Wandering Emperor on the 1/1. I don't want to incentivize them to use a targeted removal on Restless Anchorage unless I have to. Attack for 6, make a map. Damage. Take 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sweet. Crack this map onto the Restless Anchorage. March is fine. Our hand's great. All right, we will, if we play this Dust Animus, we just kind of like win on the crackback, so we're going to do that. All right, go opponent. Go for the throat. Can I win on the crackback anyway? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 off of the Wandering Emperor. I can't. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's go 3 steps ahead. Counter, create token. We'll counter there. We're actually going to create a token copy of our Restless Anchorage. Can we go to game 3? Yeah, we can go to game 3. Oh, this blue-white deck is grindy. Okay, game 3, I don't think there's any changes I necessarily want to make. I like all my board wipes and all that good stuff. This list, I think one thing I might want to do is go up to 3 Sunfalls. That's something I've been considering. This is a list I based off of, I can't remember who the player was. It was an online list that I saw, and I was like, that list looks pretty good. But the more I play it, the more I think like 3 Sunfalls might be a little bit better. But this seems fine. I think on the draw, yeah, all these things are good. We're just going to hit submit. All right, double lockdown Sunfall. Keep. Caves, little 1-drop action, go to 19. Yeah, and Izumi Linebreaker, sure. Here's my tap land. If I don't have anything to do on 2, I might just play another tap land. I assume I'm going to get batted this turn. Yeah. I'm not sure what they're going to take. Might be Sunfall if they have ways to deal with my lockdowns, but I do have 2 lockdowns, so it's a little sketchy. Okay, they take a lockdown, they attack for 1. That's fine. Ouch. Alright, tap land, go. Deluge is a welcome addition to this hand. With all the board wipes, I'm eventually going to have to refill my hand. Ball, sure. Attack for 2, sure. Migo? Migo. Deserted Beach. I will just lock down this board state, I think. I want my other lockdown back. Slow down the clock. Does Ball have Vigilance? Does not. Cool. So the Wandering Emperor will be highly effective there. They make big bodies. Okay, are you attacking with the Profiteering Mayor? You are. So I could just Wandering Emperor it out of play right now. I don't think that's necessary. I think I can just pass. They're down to 1 card in hand. They'd have to have like an absurd hand to be able to win here. Lord Skitter's fine. I have a Sunfall. And they know I have a Sunfall, so that seems crazy to me that they're taking this line. Okay, okay. Attack for 5. Okay, take 5. What do you do when you die? You make a mercenary creature token? Sure, yeah, who cares? Let's play the Wandering Emperor. I'm actually going to tick the Wandering Emperor up. Targeting nothing. My turn, draw Otawara. Here's Sunfall. Exile just everything. Does not trigger the Linebreaker because your creatures don't die. Make a 2/2. Figure this out, dude. You're like got 2 cards in hand. Alright, tap land. Okay. Land minus the Wandering Emperor. Flip this 6/6 over. Hiya. 8. Go. You're dead next turn if you can't do anything about it. Because 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 off the creatures. 11, 12 with the Restless Anchorage. 13 even with the Wandering Emperor. Song of Torrents. 4 1/1s. Yep. You're still dead. Okay, that's 4. Let's go block. Block. Ouch, 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 ouch. Okay, Deluge. I don't need to, I just can. Take another land drop and a march. None of that mattered. We'll go land. We will go activate Restless Anchorage. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We'll take this up anyway. On here. Combat, hiya. Damage. Beep. Beep, beep, beep. Alright, GG. We got game 1, but then we brought in more temporary lockdowns and couldn't be beat. Alright, that took about less than 30 minutes. Yeah, we definitely have time for at least 2 best of 3 games. Let's get into round number 2. Alright, found our round 2 opponent, number 370. Orange Aid. This hand just straight up is 7 lands, so we can't keep this, unfortunately. Our opponent fortunately mulliganed as well. This hand's a little bit better. I think we're supposed to pitch a Sunken Citadel. Yeah, that seems to make sense. We'll go Sunken, Restless, Deserted, and hopefully Lockdown's good in this matchup. Although that's a dinosaur, so I have to assume they're playing Domain. Yeah, keep 6, pitch the Citadel, go. Okay, Concealed Courtyard. Duress. Ooh, I wonder what we are playing against. Is this the black-white Bronco deck? I played that a little while ago on the main channel, before I switched all the arena content to this channel. All right, take Wandering Emperor, sure. We will just play Sunken Citadel. We will name blue for that. Second land, Tenacious Underdog, sure. Restless Anchorage, go. I think we're going to point this March at the Tenacious Underdog for sure, if they don't hit it with the Duress, which I imagine they're going to, with the Tenacious Underdog being like a great threat and all. I don't know what's in my opponent's hand. I don't know why they're thinking so much about this. I think they just have to take March here. If this is the deck I think it is, they've got plenty of ways to answer or resolve temporary lockdown, so that's not a big deal. But they're still playing on card disadvantage, and they really want their Tenacious Underdog to... Yeah, they did what they were supposed to. They took the March. They really want that to keep doing the thing. So we don't have anything to do on 3 here. We could technically, like, temporary lockdown the Tenacious Underdog. I don't care to do that. I'm just going to play Anchorage and plan to Deduce. I'm willing to take up to 12 damage from one Tenacious Underdog as long as they don't interrupt me from drawing my cards and setting my mid-game up. All right, they keep missing land drops, which is very cool. Deduce. What are you waiting for? You don't have Bowmaster. Wrong format. Draw, Deserted Beach, pass. Yeah, this is going pretty well. Now we have 3 steps ahead. They go to combat, they attack us for 3. I'm just going to keep taking it. All right, pass to me. I will crack Clue. Me go up to 6 in hand. Mirrex plus another 3 steps ahead. Don't hate that. All right, here's the Mirrex. You can attack me with that one more time. Attack for 3. Me take 3. Now I'm kind of interested in just looting. I'd like to find one more March of Otherworldly Light potentially to deal with the Tenacious Underdog would be pretty good. None of those are it, but I like my land drops. I think I'll pitch the Adarkar Wastes because I don't want lands that deal me damage at this point in the game. Go me turn. Wandering Emperor, that'll do. You know what? We'll wait until they declare attacks. Of course, they could just draw Duress and then, like, get my Wandering Emperor. I'll just flash it in response. Or you know what? If they don't make their land drop, I can just No More Lies, and that's no sweat. So here's the Wandering Emperor. I imagine they're going to want to cut down their own Tenacious Underdog to start looping it. If they do, I will No More Lies, a removal spell targeting my opponent's own creature. But they don't. We just go to 10. Now we have a Wandering Emperor and, like, an insurmountable mana advantage. All right, do you have Wedding Announcement? Because I have something to tell you about that. What you gonna do? Graveyard Trespasser? No, thank you. All right, I'm gonna activate Restless Anchorage because it only costs 3 lands to do it thanks to the Sunken Citadel. That'll give me something to tick my Wandering Emperor up onto. Attack for 3. That'll make me a map, and No More Lies is still very active since our opponents missed so many land drops. So we will tap for a mana and map this to try to hit our next land drop, which we hit, which is cool. So we play that. Now we also have 3 steps ahead up. It looks like we're winning this game, but it's not because we like outplayed our opponent or anything. It looks like they kept like a pretty good 6 or 7 and just never drew land 3, which is something that can just happen, especially in Standard, where there just isn't as much card filtering and stuff. Liliana does not resolve, obviously. Migo. Okay, this time I'll minus the Wandering Emperor, and then I will activate Restless Anchorage. I'm not going to be using this just yet, or am I? Maybe I can start using this. No, I'm never going to tap out because I don't want them to get lost my Wandering Emperor. So we'll wake that up, attack for 5, or just 3 because I just made the 2/2. Don't jump the gun, Adrian. And then here we're good to map the 2/2. Just continue holding up No More Lies. Tidebinder, sure. At this point, I'll take more clock. All right, they concede. That was kind of unfortunate for our opponent. I think the Bronco deck probably is like at least fairly decent playing into blue-white control. But if you never draw your second land, that's not, or your third land, that's not so much the case. So we need to think about what we want to do in this matchup. It's not simple because they're going to have a lot of cards that are kind of tough for us to beat in a vacuum, like Wedding Announcement and stuff. So we don't want to lose cards like Farewell. Rest in Peace is pretty reasonable. So is Kutzil's Flanker. I imagine they're going to have a non-zero amount of stuff to do from the grave, like Tenacious Underdog. Also the Cemetery, whatever, the Graveyard Trespasser is going to use the graveyard as well. So I could see Rest in Peace being okay. What's bad? I think Temporary Lockdown might be extremely medium in this matchup. I don't think I want to lose any necessarily, but I don't think I want to bring any in either. Let's go ahead and Trim. I think Tidebinder might be a little bit medium. Let's trim a couple Tidebinders and let's sideboard really lightly. We'll bring in, let's just do Negate. Nope, we've got no more lies plus 3 steps. That might be a hyperbolic amount of counter magic. Let's, for the first sideboard game, just try Rest in Peace and keep the same general game plan. Rest in Peace is definitely weird with temporary lockdown, but you kind of play around your own cards. I'm obviously not going to Rest in Peace on 2 and then cast temporary lockdown. That would be goofy. All right, we've got 2 lands plus Get Lost, Rest in Peace. Yeah, this hand's fine. Our fail state is losing the same way our opponent lost game 1, which is just like never draw the second land or the third land, which we just did. So that's not going to happen. Depending on what our opponent does, we're probably just supposed to play Plains and start holding up no more lies for things like Liliana and take like 9 points of damage to this tenacious underdog, which is fine. Like we'll just go Restless Anchorage next turn and just continue to hold our mana up. And then at some point when our opponent taps out, we'll March of Otherworldly Light the tenacious underdog and it'll be gone. And we won't have to think about it anymore. All right, land pass to me. Here's Restless Anchorage. I drew Wandering Emperor. That's really good. You go. Virtue of Loyalty. Yeah, that's fine. We don't really so much care about this card. It's really easy for us to deal with the enchantment subtype, so we're just not sweating it. They're gonna do that with a tenacious underdog. What if, and hear me out, it got exiled instead? All right, attack 5, and you go to 12. Their clock is substantially faster this game, which is not awesome for us. But we've got this Wandering Emperor, so we really just don't want them to resolve something like a Liliana. That would be pretty bad. I wonder if they're just gonna cast Virtue here. See if I have it. I am going to let it resolve. I'm just going to Get Lost it later. I'll Wandering Emperor away a tenacious underdog if they decide to go that route. All right, they go Virtue, sure. All right, you go to combat. All right, they want to go to end step, so they just want Virtue to start growing their stuff. I'm good on that. We're going to Get Lost the Virtue. I see what they were trying to do there, but I had the answer for that line. We'll go Sunken Citadel. This one can be on blue. And then we will pass. And now they can unfortunately start mapping their creatures, but that is just so much better for us than having a resolve Virtue. Okay, map 2/2, that's fine. Duress, great. You're going to map the underdog too, or you're going to keep mapping the 3/3 and not attack with underdog to play around Wandering Emperor. Very heads up play from opponent. I like that a lot. If they attacked with underdog there, they probably do just lose on the spot. But now there's a lot more magic to play. However, I do just get to cast Memory Deluge, which could be problematic. Well, this isn't that good a pile, to be honest, but we will take Memory Deluge plus Field of Ruin. Might even make some amount of sense to field away one of their lands so they can't just duress me. Yeah, let's do that. Let's field away. Are any of these good? No, I'll just hit your Concealed Courtyard, I guess. We're going to go grab an island, I guess. The worst card for them to have here would just be the Wandering Emperor, but they don't, which is great. Now, if this turn they decide to just attack with a 3/3 again, we will just march it. If they decide to map the 3/3, we will just march it, because it's actually a 1-drop when we march the 3/3. March, pay 0, confirm 0, submit 0, hit the 3/3, goodbye. See ya. All right, map fizzles. Soaring the Mirthless, that's quite good. Are you going to start drawing cards immediately, I wonder? Because I can kill the Soaring if they don't. And they do start drawing cards. Hostile Investigator, that's a lot of damage to take from that. All right, pass to me. I imagine you're not going to attack if you haven't been. Let's play Memory Deluge again. This time we'll take 3 steps ahead, plus no more lies. Now we've got some counter magic to play with. Then we'll play Field of Ruin, and how long can we just sit around with this Soaring in play? Seems like kind of a long time. At some point we're going to have to kill it, but we've got one more Get Lost in our deck, and that seems like it'll be fine. Also, in a pinch, we can just flash in the Wandering Emperor and start using it to beat down. I wonder how much sense it makes to get a Rest in Peace in play. Probably not this turn. We're probably supposed to wait and flashback Deluge. Because if we find the Get Lost, we just never have to try to attack the Soaring. All right, you see Legions to Ashes. Exile target online permanent opponent controls. Yeah, that's fine. Hostile Investigator, let's counter it. I don't want to loot, I actually like my hand. I also want to continue to hold up the Wandering Emperor. At some point, it's also going to be important to deal with this sneaky little Restless Fortress that's just hanging out over there. Caustic Bronco. Okay, that resolves. We just need to let that be in play, because now we can go Rest in Peace Depop. The Rest in Peace makes our Deluges worse, obviously, but them not being able to loop Tenacious Underdog seems quite good. All right, here they didn't do anything again, so I think what I want to do is crack this Field of Ruin on their manland so that doesn't become a problem for us in the future. Let's grab Plains. Plains is fine here. Migo. Draw. Deduce. Not bad. All right. Now, if I want to rest in peace Depop, maybe I just don't need to do that. Can I attack with Restless Anchorage and still be like A-okay? I think I can. Let's think about this for a second. This is actually kind of a tricky turn. Because we're at 9, there's a couple ways we could go, but because we're at 9, I think I am going to take the route of play Rest in Peace. Exile the graveyards. I'll lose 2 Deluges, that's fine. And then I'm going to Depop. That'll give us No More Lies as a line. We can Deduce, doesn't really matter. But they don't have anything to attack us with, so we're not stressed about having to Emperor. And the Legions to Ashes can hit our Rest in Peace if they want it to. The thing we have to do now is beat up this Soaring a little bit so they can't -7 it and kill us. That is an Aclazotz, so can I counter that? I can't. They actually have managed to have enough mana. What we are going to do is nothing. I think what we're supposed to do is try to beat up on the Soaring anyway, and if they attack with the Aclazotz, we can Wandering Emperor it. All right, let's Deduce. Second No More Lies, not the greatest. There is just a straight up get lost. Amazing. We did find it. Goodbye, Soaring. No thank you. All right, opponent, you're up. That was a really lucky top deck for us. Now they're going to get to crack their maps, of course, but we can't do anything about that Aclazotz until they tap it, so no sweat. Map the 1/1, sure. Wedding Announcement, I have to imagine, is staying right on top of your deck, right? Map it again, you got it. Combat. Yeah, they're not going to attack with that Aclazotz, which is smart. Here we will pop our Clue and draw a card. Deserted Beach. It might make sense to just Emperor the 3/3, although I think I can afford to just take a quick 3 here, actually. I'm going to see if I can put them on thinking I don't have the Wandering Emperor, because if at any point I just draw Sunfall here, the game gets much easier. Of course, there's also the consideration of needing to deal with Mirrex at some point, which is one of the main reasons we play 4 Field of Ruin in our deck. Another land, sure. Also, Field of Ruin would shuffle away that Wedding Announcement, which would be very good too. Let's go take our turn. Sunken Citadel, not great. Let's go ahead and play it on white and chill. I think maybe in this matchup, because it's so slow and they're not doing, like, this is really good against Rug lands, for instance, because we don't mind not having access to our copies of Memory Deluge because their deck stops functioning once I put Rest in Peace in play. But against this deck, I'm really actually missing those Deluges that I exiled, which I knew I would to some extent, but I didn't realize it would be this detrimental. At this point, maybe I need to start, let's go ahead and wait, Legions to Ashes. It only hits non-lands, so we get to activate this Restless Anchorage. And we are going to spit a blocker out of the 1/1. Okay, they have a Go for the Throat. Now we know their whole hand. So if we take it here, can we counter their Wedding Invitation? We can. And if they don't play Wedding Invitation, then what do we do? I think we have to take this. Go to 2. All right, Wedding Invitation or Wedding Announcement. No More Lies. You pay 3, I do it again. You can't make another Mirrex token, and that's pretty good. All right, another one. Me draw Memory Deluge. All right, let's cast that. No Sunfall, but we find March and 3 Steps Ahead, both very good. So we can just actually march a token if we need to. But if they just attack with 2, we'll Wandering Emperor a token, and then we'll march the Aclazotz if we have to, no big deal. Now we just need to find out about locking down a Field of Ruin, and we should be okay-ish. But we're at 2. That's an actual factor. All right, combat. Attack for 4. Here is my Wandering Emperor. I will minus it on this 3/3. I'll take 1. I wonder if they Legions to Ashes the Wandering Emperor now. I can't think of a better card to use it on in this matchup. All right, they just pass. We draw another 3 Steps Ahead, which is great. We can make a 2/2 to start blocking 1/1s. And we're just going to pass now. Before combat, I think I am just going to march the Aclazotz, though. Make a 1/1, sure. Because now they might be incentivized to start attacking with Aclazotz. Liliana. I think we'll counter that. And do we want to create a token copy? No, we're going to need so much mana to hit the Aclazotz, so we're just going to counter it. All right, they're entering combat, so we are going to use this march for 5 to hit the Aclazotz. Adios. And they can attack with both, but we'll start to chip 1 off every turn, so if we can get them down to... Well, it might be better for them to not attack. I'm not sure what they're supposed to do. Because if they can start making more, then they don't have to worry about like losing half of their creatures in the attack. But if they wait too long, then I draw Field of Ruin and wipe their board. So it's kind of a sticky spot for them. We'll block one of them. We'll go to 5 poison and 2 life. I can't imagine you're going to use your Legions to Ashes on my token. All right, we're going to hold this land because we have this 3 steps ahead. So we will go to combat and attack for 2 because they're at 6. But let's not forget that their life total is also very low. And then we'll pass. All right, duress, we have to take an action here. So we'll go counter, copy, loot. We'll copy this creature, auto pay. Oh, I just killed myself. Well, I guess I can draw March, but I just killed myself because their Legions to Ashes is going to be very good. All right, we'll pitch this. I think I'm just dead. I forgot about Legions to Ashes, and I just straight up killed myself. Not very good. Yep, Legions, it's gone. It's gone. Attack for 2, I'm dead. What I could have done was not kicked it so much and then activated my Restless Anchorage and not died. So that means we're going to game 3. I do like the configuration of my deck still, but the Rest in Peace was kind of clunky. I think I'm going to replace it with Kutzil's Flanker. All right, we get to be on the play, and our hand is pretty good. Field for the Mirrex, 2 sources. Unfortunately, we might have to forego double blue in favor of double white for Depop, and then use Deduce to try to develop our second blue source. You know what? No, I think we're going to cast this in this first. So I think we'll develop on blue first off Sunken Citadel. We'll keep this. We both keep 7. Rats, don't duress me. I guess if they do, it doesn't matter. Like, my hand's pretty redundant and just good in general. Tap land. Put a Virtue in the bin, sure. Sunken Citadel on blue. Mirrex, Caustic Bronco. Best sequence possible from our opponent. I respect it. We'll go land and just pass. We'll let them start drawing a couple cards. All right, land. Cool. It's always land when it's your opponent. It's always land when they do it to themselves, and then when they finally target you with it, it's going to be like an 8-drop or something. All right, counter the Liliana. That's too good here, I think. White source off the top naturally. Lucky, lucky. Oh my god. I'm so lucky. I'm going to Wandering Emperor the Caustic Bronco now. I don't want them to draw any more cards off of it. Waiting announcement, sure. Did they miss their land drop there? They did. That's really good for us. Might be worth it to tick up this this Wandering Emperor. Or is it? Yeah, maybe not. I've got another one. No, I want a 2/2. I want to disincentivize attacking. Because now we're trying to hunker down and cast this Deluge and start to go over the top of them, is the goal. They draw land, very lucky. But probably deserved, considering I have to imagine their deck plays like maybe 1 less land than us. I think this deck actually plays 25, 26 lands. Go to combat. No attacks. Trigger that, that's fine. Here is my Memory Deluge. I want to secure my next land drop if I can. 3 steps ahead, plus... Do I need another... I might want another field, to be honest. Let's grab those. Me go, me draw, me play Field of Ruin, me go to combat. Off field, I'm going to grab a blue source, I think. Attack for 2. And if they activate Mirrex, I'm just going to go ahead and blow it up now. Alright, they cast Wandering Emperor, so what we're going to do is we're going to activate field, blowing up their Mirrex now. We're going to grab a blue source. And then we're going to No More Lies the Wandering Emperor. I'm good on that, dude. You go. Caves. We got an Akhlazotz or something cool like that. Hostile Investigator. That has to be fine. I think I'll Deduce first just to see if the card I draw is what I want to discard, and it is. So that enters. I will discard Adarkar Wastes. Will I? Yeah, I will. That's gone. You make Clue. You can't go to combat. Your stuff all gets bigger. I cast Depopulate. Holding up mana to crack my Clue seems fine. Yeah. Bye, everybody. And pass. A land probably... It wouldn't have been that bad to have a land there because of my 3 steps ahead. But I don't think I can, like, discard a Wandering Emperor to enable that. I could be wrong there, though. Graveyard Tress, sure, that's good. It's going to eat my Memory Deluge. Bye. A good card in this matchup, like a really good card, is actually just straight up Farewell. Dealing with wedding... what is the name of the flip version? Wedding festivities and just multiple different types of enchantments and artifacts that they can have. Seems really good. Could be really good. That might be overextending what they just did there. And that might tell me something about what's in their hand. They may have some big over-the-top spell in their hand. We'll play Field of Ruin. Here, we're at 20, so we're just going to tank a huge hit and plan to start using Deluge to try to pull ahead. I'm also probably going to field that Fortress before I cast the Deluge. And I'm also not going to cast the Deluge pre-combat because I'm not in any way interested in losing my Deluge to the Graveyard Glutton's trigger when it attacks. Sure, you get my Wandering Emperor, you're hostile. I go to 11, I believe. And they keep hitting lands off of their Bronco, which is just miserable. Ouch, ouch. Crack clue. Crack the clue. All right, you draw a card. Land. Cool, you got it. If they leave it on top, we're definitely going to field. We're probably going to field anyway, so it doesn't super matter. All right, let's activate Field of Ruin. Let's crack your Restless Fort. Let's grab another blue source, I think. And then let's cast Deluge. I don't love giving them a window to resolve the Wandering Emperor here, but I think we still need to do this. All right, no board wipes. We'll take 3 steps ahead plus Deduce. And I'm not going to push my luck by tapping out. I want them to think I have no more lies. Then we will... Let's go with the Wandering Emperor here. Let's minus it, targeting the Graveyard Glutton of all things. And that's going to trigger. We'll resolve the trigger. We're going to go ahead and pitch... one of our... We're probably going to pitch the Deduce, to be honest. I'll gain 2. That's taken care of. Here, I can totally just march the Caustic Bronco as well. And it could be that that's correct. I don't know how bad I want to stop them from drawing cards. I think them drawing like an card is good. I really don't want to lose my Wandering Emperor for no reason too. No, I think I am just going to take out the Caustic Bronco. This is the big storm here. I'm about to pass shields completely down. They activate Takenuma. I wonder what they want. Ooh, they've also put Tenacious D in the graveyard, which is bad for us. So they're going to be able to do a lot here. Hostile Investigator. We will pitch 3 steps ahead, I think. Liliana. I think we need to pitch the Wandering Emperor to that. We might be on the outside looking in now. Let's go ahead and man up the Restless Anchorage. And pump it. Go to combat. Attack the Liliana of the Veil. Make a map. Clock it. Crack the map. Crack the map, targeting the Restless Anchorage, tapping this Field of Ruin, I guess. Look at the top card. It's a Deluge. Let's pop that into the bin, actually. You know what? Yeah, let's pop that into the bin. I don't know how much time we're going to have to actually cast that, then pass. The idea here is to get them, to force them to keep taking their Liliana up, and maybe try to protect it, but to tax away at their own hand while we have multiple Deluges in our bin. Obviously, 1 copy of Graveyard Trespasser ruins that entire plan, but... Alright, they're going to blitz the Tenacious Underdog. I think here I might actually 3 steps ahead that. And here they're probably supposed to kill the Wandering Emperor. And I can try to take out Liliana of the Veil. Unless I just like draw land, then I get to weirdly play land and pass. Now Farewell is just my best top deck by like a million miles. Hi. I've drawn Farewell. Can I weather an entire turn? I can take out the Liliana by activating Restless Anchorage and attacking. Then I have the issue of taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's just insane, right? Or I can Farewell and deal with just everything, but I lose 2 Deluges. Because if I Farewell, I also have to get this Tenacious Underdog, and we're quite behind. I think I gotta go nuts and just go for it and hope they don't just like Windmill Slam Aclazotz. Because I can use the Anchorage to keep beating up on the Liliana, and if they keep ticking it up, they have to pitch cards. Alright, we all discard. Please don't discard a Tenacious Underdog. Thank you. Okay, here comes Restless Anchorage. We'll see if they just have the removal spell. Alright, they have the Go for the Throat, which just happens, unfortunately. Oh, I should have flashed in the Wandering Emperor. I am so stupid. I just realized I don't have enough white. I'm angry. Alright, I probably should have won this game. I think I rushed to the punch a little bit too hard. Oh, duress me. Sure, yeah. Yeah, if I had cast this Wandering Emperor, the game probably just ends. But now we're on a race to like beat this Liliana before it can ult on us, which is not a good place to be. Alright, pass to me. Restless Anchorage ain't nothing. It lets us push back against the Liliana a little bit. Of course, they're drawing cards too, so they could just at any point play like a threat and we're right back where we started. Virtue of Loyalty, sure. Play the Virtue, you got it. And take up Liliana. Yep. Me go. You have bigger creature. Me draw land. Me activate Restless Anchorage. And attack your Liliana. I do not want that thing to ult on my face. And start using maps to try to do things. 3 steps ahead. I actually think I want that, unironically. We'll play Adarkar Wastes and pass. We're not really looking at it for the counter. We're looking at it to like clone Restless Anchorage and like draw cards. Yep. We all loot, or not loot, we all discard. I take 3. That thing becomes a 4/4. It's getting big really fast. All right, me draw. Let's activate the Restless Anchorage. Let's go to combat, attack Liliana, bring her to 1, and then let's pop this map and actually hope to draw land so we can pitch that to Liliana. Let's tap for this color just in case we end up drawing a... Well, I guess if we draw Emperor, it doesn't matter. That's just a Get Lost. I think Get Losting Virtue's actually not quite where we want to be, maybe. Maybe we just need to do that, though. Could be we need to do that. Let's see. If they draw blank and we Get Lost Virtue, kill Liliana, we take... So they blank. We take 4, go to 6. Then we kill Liliana, blank the Virtue, and then we just die to the map tokens. No, that actually doesn't work. We're going to pitch that. And then we will go to... Maybe we should 3 steps ahead to loot and see if we can, like, march or something. I think so, actually. Let's go blue, blue, colorless. Draw 2 cards and discard a card. Because we're just going to lose it to the Liliana anyway. All right, we'll pitch temporary... Yeah, temporary lockdown, because Liliana's going to make us discard it anyway. Then we can play Mirrex. Okay. I take 4. If they don't tick up their Liliana, that means there's a removal spell in their hand, which is definitely weird. I think we have to make them use it. I don't really get much in the way of a choice. Combat. Go for the throat. Yeah, that resolves. All right, opponent, you're up. We actually can just take 5. Well, now we can't take 5 here. Graveyard Trespasser comes into play. All right, they're going to exile 2. That's fine. They tick up Liliana. I'm going to cast Kutzil's Flanker. Then I'm going to gain 2 life and scry 2. Otawara and Restless Anchorage ain't it. So we'll pitch both of those. And now, yeah, I guess I can take 5 here. Ouch. Your creatures get bigger. That Virtue is now beating us in the face to death. Get lost. Get lost. Get lost. Get lost. Get lost. Get lost. Okay, I think we're dead, but we technically do have some lines here. What we can do is we're going to pass. This is kind of an awful line, but it's what we have. We pass. Our opponent is going to play Soaring the Mirthless. Okay, now we can't win. Just so you guys know, our line to try to get one more turn is they tick down the Liliana potentially to just deal lethal. I make a Mirrex token, sacrifice that, get lost the 6/6, block the Graveyard Glutton, and if they do that and their Liliana's gone and I top deck, let's say, a board wipe or something of that nature, then we can climb back into the game with a Deluge. But we do lose. We were supposed to win that game. We should have if we flashed in Wandering Emperor when we had the white, when they had the removal spell for a Restless Anchorage, we would have just won on the spot, but we lost. That should do it. This deck's grindy, so I think 2 best of 3 games is fine. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time.